about this very, very stupendous new moon in Scorpio. So this is happening on the 7th and today is the 2nd. It is not that good if you are now questioning yourself. It is not that easy if you are tearing yourself to shreds, if you're wondering if this has happened well, that has happened well, if you've been asking and answering and thinking and pondering. It's just not easy. So as I've said the month before, simplify things and make things easy, because as Jupiter goes into Sagittarius, and as we get this huge upliftment from nature, I really don't feel that the types of strategies that we create out of complexity and the need to know, I don't really feel that these types of strategies are going to really work, because everything expands. The feeling I'm getting very strongly is that most people don't really want to know themselves simply. And as Venus is in retrograde, I believe that many cannot really see true love for what it is. And many cannot really give themselves the true care that they want and deserve. I do trust and believe that for the next few days, especially culminating on the 23rd of November, I trust that there's going to be a massive change and that people will start to believe. So faith returns eventually as Sagittarius becomes luminous and very global with this incredible conjunction of Mercury and Jupiter. But before then, we are really setting in, and I feel that some of us are planting some very important and interesting ideas and concepts, and also friendships. I believe that we can make some very amazing new friends during this time, and we can also be given answers that we have not received for a very long time. And for some, love returns, faith returns, or just generosity of spirit returns. But the only thing that I feel is holding us back as a collective is complexity. Trying to get together with somebody who's no longer or has just never been emotionally, physically, or spiritually available. Making sense of a friendship that has gone wrong. Trying to make somebody understand something that they're just not ready to understand. Recognizing people not for who they are but for who they were, and so on and so forth. And this track is very long, and as I have been saying for the last month and a half, simplicity. When we had the full moon on Taurus recently, that's when it should have been all set. That's where everything should have been fine. And the ideals and the ideas that you had that were good should have just been obvious. And everything and everyone that was not true and not obvious should have already fallen away. It should have been that easy. And I know it's hard. Sometimes it's like, but. Sometimes people have this like martyr syndrome, they want meaning to come from things that are hard, or from things that are difficult, or just from people that are needy, or people that make life very, very traumatizing. So we are choosing friends here, truly dog year. So we have to really see who's right for us. And when you look at your friends and you look at your companions, please just trust that it should not ever have been hard. And perhaps also for some of us, we were tested and tried, I feel truly, with those that are not right for us. And it's not because they're not there, they're simple-minded, or, they're wrong, or they're hard to get along with. Not at all. It's just because some people are just not the same. And that was meant to be, I feel, the closing of quite a few things. So we have been, I feel, prodded about a little bit in September, October, November, and now we have to really recognize who are the people that will just not be there for us. What are the types of situations that are just challenging, unless you're related, and these patterns keep on following you. If you've met somebody and you think they're really great, but somehow their charisma really grates on you, or who they've come to be is really been hard to accept or swallow, you don't have to make yourself love someone. You don't have to make yourself understand through submission. Here, you really don't need to make somebody else the meaning of your life, or to truly try and prove to another person that you are who you say you are, or it is what it is. It just doesn't need to be that hard. Sometimes during this particular time, as we're building up to this incredible Jupiter return to Sagittarius, on occasion we will have to see it all. So are you seeing it all? Can you see yourself? Can you please work yourself out? Even though you don't want to be with this person, or you don't quite want to be in that group or that scenario, again, that's fine. Taurus moon was the easiest way to do it, but now it's not easy. It's okay. Just it's not easy to unclench right now, but let go to such a degree where you just don't even want to know who they are, what they are. It's like to the point where you don't even know how else to feel. It's just like letting go to the point where you know that you genuinely don't want to be around people that are bad for you, that are hard to deal with, or that put you into very uneasy situations. And these people, I feel, are there for all of us, but we have to sort of like start to understand as to how we can do that without traumatizing anybody else. One of the best ways, I feel, is when you kind of can see who you are and the point of your life. And this is difficult because not many people have faith. Not many people have faith in their world or just faith in themselves. Just coming to a really nice, obvious, like sentiment about you. Just faith in you and what you do. That's the beginning of faith. One other way you can do it is through the natural world, maybe even some kind of like own, maybe even uncluttered spirituality, because that's the spirituality that knows you best, and that you should probably consider the type of spirituality that comes through sentiment and through one's own connection point with the world, and also perhaps through eclectic collections of beliefs and what other people said, but also what it is all for you. Yeah, I know it's boring. It's very boring. People now perhaps want to know the answer. Jupiter's coming into Sagittarius. There's perhaps a vulnerability, wanting to be more, wanting to be bigger, wanting to have accomplished much more when Jupiter was going through Scorpio. But I feel the point here is not accomplishment and not truly the work that you do or the importance you hold or even who you are. It's more like about clarity. It's just about getting real. It's just about getting real. So well, that's all. I feel there's a need for this. It's very, very easy to get real. So basically, look around. For the last few days, there were, I feel, many, 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 many reasons for great satisfaction. And I also feel that before Jupiter swings into Sagittarius, we might also have to really manage our communication skills on our own private, innocent, silent quantum level, how we feel about ourselves, how we feel in our hearts, and also like what we really, really pleasure through, where we feel attraction to everyday things and everyday experiences, and where we feel distraction. And that can be very, very simple and easy for you. It's just about understanding the joy of the moment and the gratitude and the quality and the quantum value of all things. It's like what brings you that, okay, like serene, nice feeling of connection. And then what are those things that just make you feel absolute nonsense? Like my head is clouded, I can't breathe, I don't know who I am, I forgot who I am. So what you might want to do is basically consider, where is that path? Where is that path? Like, what has been leading you on, and what have you been following through with, and what have you actually sculpted into your life? And this is where things get a little bit sad. We're in the culture of fast talkers, and we're also in the culture of high-speed internet and high-speed realities. We can mix and match. We can throw people away and find new ones on Tinder. We can throw a mother away and then replace her by another mother role, mother archetype, or even try to be it ourselves. We can replace one city with another city. We can move town. We can do anything we want. We can really, really enjoy this displacing of oneself for a long time, or we can just get really real. And how to get real here is, I know it's a bit boring. It's a little bit boring. I know. How to get real here is very, very easy, and it's very, very affordable. It's just basically you get real with who you are and where you are now. You just get real with how much, for example, you make and you spend, and what you say to other people you have. You get real how much time you invest into something that perhaps is only for other people's eyes and ears. Maybe you get real about how your body's feeling. That's difficult. Scorpio moon, it's always going to be a little bit of that. There's always going to be a little bit of that. You might want to get real about how addicted you are to the internet. You might want to get real about how much time you spend with your ex on your mind. You may also want to get real about other things, before you flood yourself with ultimately gratitude, and if not gratitude, then at least passivity. Some of us can't. We can't. Some people say, oh yeah, but gratitude, not just archetypal, like I'm at church, I'm in front of people, I want to say that I'm grateful type of thing. It's not like that. You're not bringing your gratitude to the altar for other people to inspect, basically. It's like you bring your gratitude out to yourself and you make this private, sentient space just to feel it. Like, wow. And it could be sometimes brought upon you with very strange things, like a little ladybug landing on your table, or like someone smiling at you, or maybe somebody just sending you a kiss or something like that. There could be something very, very simple that puts you in a state of gratitude. And then start generating those. And try not to fight, but to burn out this sense of mystery and strangeness, and this ecstatic need for power and control over yourself or other people, or this global worry that you might have during this time, or this nerdy need to stay online and do things that you perhaps never really needed to do, or this intense need to suddenly go into extreme esoterics or tantra or any other kind of practice which is just not really yours. It might be very, very nice here not to push on with the new crew. If you met somebody, try not to smolder and not to give away too much of your secrets. So that means that a lot of us that didn't quite make it, we don't really feel a real adjusted sense of maturity, as that's what Jupiter and Scorpio ultimately should have given. If we don't feel well, and if we don't feel blessed, and if we don't feel just ourselves, just as us, it feels to me that what comes next is basically perseverance and the pushing on through with people, dictatorship issues, mother-father wounds, and all of those things, the unheard child, the humiliated adult, the banker that never sleeps, the beautiful woman that hates her body, all of that stuff, all of that thinking, all of those kind of toxic patterns that can come up are okay. Trust that it's happening. So for those of us that are in extreme distraught states during this time, or have somehow peaked in a certain type of uncertainty, or like a certain type of emotional culmination, it could be very easily dealt with just through time. Some of us need to get away. Some of us need just to lay back and just feel. On some level, not everybody needs it, but with some, there is a great thought, there is a great concept in mind. We've got very amazing Mercury here, It's very, very nice for conceptualization. Jupiter is almost touching on Mercury, is going towards Mercury. We've got concepts galore. For other people, it's not about that. Like for myself last night, it was just about having a cry. Sometimes we just have stale emotions, we don't even know where it's from. For another person, it's not about that. Perhaps it's about chewing something over with a friend. It's also like such a great time at the moment for friendship and meeting new people. And yes, especially for ladies and people who are attracted to men in general, it's an interesting time to meet a man. It's also a very, very pseudo-pessimistic time where we might actually want to cover how much glee and how much joy we feel with pseudo-pessimistic experiences as well. So we can also say, just as my prognosis for Cancer has been this month of November, we can say, oh, that'll never work, or this person is not it for me. And sometimes we can have a pseudo-pessimistic experience where we've invited a strand of pessimism into our life, not because we deserve it, not because it's even karmically true, it's because we have grown to believe something. But stay clear of the I told you so's, the negative thinking patterns. Like, for example, if you've been joined to a new group in the last few days, or you're about to be joined to a new group, please try to stay clear of the I told you so types of experiences where no matter how you put it, you're always right. And sometimes these can be out of fear of other people. Some of us have been blamed for stuff that we never did. Some of us have been ridiculed lately, or have been just put in the corner for something because we had to go through that patterning just to make sure that it is not so, that we don't have to have these types of pessimistic experiences. But sometimes also what might happen is that the truth is near. Jupiter swinging into Sagittarius, the truth. Faith is about to improve. Something's about to grow. Something is about to bloom. Somebody's about to enter into your world, or something is about to enter into you. And this could be, for example, a new concept. It could be a new idea. Yes, interesting time for fertility. And also it's a very, very good neurologically pleasing time for the concept of you being kind of like a better version of you, like the betterment of your own you. That can be as well. So why not? I mean, we could expand on this a bit more. I mean, to me, it feels that with this opposition between Uranus and Venus, there is such a huge dimensional no with some things, you know, especially because she is there, retrograde, you know, this no feeling, you know, this shadowy Venus feeling feels so uncomfortable sometimes. And the reason is sometimes during this type of transit we might not want to be loved, or we'll not want the easy way out. Just trust the easy things. Okay, maybe you don't know how to talk to that woman, you know, maybe you don't know what to do about your life right now. Make it okay that you don't know. And this is one of the largest bits of advice I think in this video, is make it okay that you don't know. Make it okay, like, oh, he left, he'll never be back. You don't know. Make it okay that you don't know. Oh, wow, you know, that person did this to this person, they'll do that to me. It's okay, you don't know. It's okay. So this is the difficult part, is to embrace this last bit of Jupiter in Scorpio, and this incredible Scorpionic moon, in such a way where you know it's okay to not be in the pattern with things. And you'll say, but this type of guy, he'll just do it to anyone. And that's not the point. The point is that you don't know. And then when you understand you don't know, that's where magic has room to be. And perhaps you'll be taken out of one situation, placed into another, or perhaps you'll let go of things so fast and so much that you'll be no longer recognizable. Or even that person could change. That's possible too. But don't trust people to change. That's one thing though, you know. Sometimes with this type of energy, we may want somebody to change around. Okay, it's like, let's see how fast you can run. Let's see what else you can do. We've got this incredible, very affluent Mars actually here in incredible sign of Aquarius. It's such an opposition, like such a destitute feeling with Venus. It's like, let's see how much more we can charge. You know, let's see how much more you can do. Let's see how much better you can play violin. You know, let's see how much more of a lover you are. You know, let's see how much more. The best thing here is sometimes not to know. That is like a very interesting fact here, I feel. So, you know, like scrambling for results. You know how like sometimes people, no matter what, I want to get that result. You know, it's like, no matter what, I want that person to love me. Or like, no matter what, I really, really want to get that body. And that was actually a very formidable time for rebalancing and sexuality and emotions. It would be very, very, very cruel to yourself and others to expect a result. Come on, hurry up. No. We can't do that. We can't do that anymore. That's been gone since last year. So that expectation of another person to feed into your idea shouldn't be here. It should be gone. One other thing probably is that the usefulness of this Jupiter is not there yet. So we are in a very interesting formula here. If you are now creating a concept and you don't quite know, that's good, that's great. If you are not sure, that is very good. But if you are, say, planning on something to sell, for example, you created this product and it's on sale and you want it now to be big or massive, it's like, come on, you guys, I can't keep up otherwise. Come on, you guys, please don't market to anybody else unless you know them as a buyer. There's this interesting thing here because you might burn out. You might actually also close a lot of doors right on your face if you're pushing on people that are just not ready to be pushed. And also people that are pushed around during this time really know that. And on occasion also, that can be something that is absolutely unforgivable later on in time. So Jupiter there in this incredible time where it's almost like somebody's thinking and thinking like this, and then they go, oh, I know. Okay, oh, okay. Like this Eureka moment energetically arrives much later than you think. So gestation periods, and you know how I said before, if a certain situation or an opportunity or a person isn't there, they're either aren't gonna be or they're not ready yet. So this is kind of like a little bit of a gamble, and sometimes it gives us ants in our pants. You know, like the feeling like, I don't know if this guy or this project is gonna really go ahead, or if I should just move on to something else. And we had a huge moon to just move over and just let it be filled. But they are going to be a bit of both, like it didn't work out, and then you can come back together and, you know, opportunities and objectives return. But the thing here is not to push it, even to be almost like, if you can imagine you launched a bowling ball, and now you just have to watch it, like watch it rolling and learn from that momentum. So we are now learning from that momentum. We are not really meant to roll again. You don't roll two bowls at the same time. So it's about patience. And the ultimate lesson of Scorpio is maturity. Are you mature enough? Sometimes we can be too mature as well. We can mature very fast, and the easiest way to see is, for example, if you look at 2015, 2017, if you're older, perhaps what has really bothered you? What has been something on your mind forever, like never ceasing, any kind of aggression, any kind of sadness, any kind of issue and inconsistency that is now just like, whoa, I don't have to be that person anymore. This happened before, and that will happen again. So we will always have these opportunities to grow so fast and so far that we don't even freaking know who we are. And this is one of those accelerating times. But the thing is, reality is not accelerated. So the result is not as quantum, as fast, as super duper, or as expected. Actually, the quantum field is kind of a bit wobbly right now. So I actually feel that it's a little bit random. So how we get a result, or how we get heard, how we come across, on occasion can be very super duper sensitive, or sometimes it can be not how we expected. And also don't expect to get the same result with previous behavior patterns or previous also marketing techniques or anything that you've done. But the thing here is maturity. The thing here is maturity. So it's like you've thrown the bowling ball. It's rolling now, yeah? So it's rolling. It's rolling. And now the best thing for you guys, you know, for everyone, is not to jump in, run after the bowling ball, pick it up and try to bowl it again. And neither is it about throwing another ball. And it's not really about losing face in front of people. And it's not about not losing face. So the thing is, you just have to pretty much prepare for gratitude. And how much you can handle, because this is a really hard thing about maturity sometimes, yeah? So sometimes with maturity it's this, either you are now fully qualified for the job and you can take care and you've grown into yourself and you can throw a really smooth bowling ball, you can generate a really smooth income, or you're very smooth with your reality, or you're too mature. And this is how come sometimes lovers here don't work, or situations just no longer resonate, is because you're so mature. Maybe you matured really fast over October, especially by choosing things that are simple and easy and owning up to your own stuff. You might actually here be falling away from people and no longer resonant to the ear. And it's not because you are not ready. Sometimes it's not because it is not time or it's not fate. Sometimes it's a question of maturity, and also on occasion how people go through the path of Virgo and Libra, because this is like cleaning up, this is karmic, this is relationships, this is the truth and getting things spruced up. On occasion you will not be able to turn back. So for instance, you had a culmination with another person in September, and you perhaps deal with these things as if you are still in September, but for some reason you are no longer you that was there. Perhaps you are no longer even you that you are now. It's that you can't recognize it. So some of us, we've grown a little bit too fast for our own recognition. And this sometimes makes us uninteresting to some people. And some of us will feel inevitably shunned or unimportant or somehow left behind. But the thing here is basically watch momentum. And this is the thing, the turtle in the hare, like who finishes last, who laughs last, like who finishes faster, who is the best in the game, what's the decision, like what's the final outcome, what's the final joke, what is the final humor. We're swinging into Sagittarius soon, you guys. What is the humor? We're preparing for a huge Jupiter-Sun conjunction, you guys. What is the humor eventually? Okay? What is the humor? What's the kicker? You know what I mean? We don't know yet. So the result, the overturning of cards, it's like you've got the cards on the table, you're turning the cards and you're seeing what's on the other side. That's not ready, and that's not going to be there. And unfortunately, we can break up over nothing. We can actually break each other's hearts over nothing. And we can also cause a lot of harm and catastrophe in our own lives, our health, our sensuality, our sexuality, whatever positions of power that we've created over the last month, because we can't fully yet truly just see it through. You launch the bowling ball, just see it through. We can close a lot of doors. And by now you probably have, as I have as well. You can close friendly families, you can close friendly people, you can close collectives, you can close financial opportunities, you can close certain types of gain, you can close even parts of your health, you can close a lot more than you think, just by being stroppy about things and by being that kid in the back seat of a car saying, come on, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And that's the thing. Okay, so if you are somebody who finds it very hard not to get results had to be seen almost like as if you were cutting a banana on a cutting board in October, September, like Libra time, it had to be clean cut, it had to be obvious. Now it's not easy. Now we have to wait. It's almost like you're underwater. How long can you hold your breath? It's a little bit of a competition. For some people, it is a little bit of a competition during this time. So maybe even if you don't know it, there's a little bit of a competitive streak during this month. So the thing here, if you like, to harness more, serious practicality and maturity, meditate, go on a walk, sit with yourself, breathe, hold a book on your head. Feel what it is just to be for you as you. If you have an argument or a really bad story, either close it, which is not advisable right now because there's a huge freaking tail on that Scorpio at the moment, as I'm kind of seeing also for myself as well. If you could, please practice serenity, and also how much magic and how much serenity and how much focus you can achieve in Scorpio follows with you for life. So if during this time you can actually keep in touch with your inner strength, inner connection, inner power, inner woman, inner man, inner, the more you might actually generate for the next 2 months ahead. So that's the thing, is to keep healthy, tactful. Sensual is good. Sensual is very sensual time, but it's also very, very nice to make sure that when there is a situation arising, oh, that girl walks into the doors, oh, triggered, your ex is seeing somebody else, oh, triggered, like say, that person for the job is no longer interested in you for the job. Okay, triggered. That trigger is not important. If you can imagine, you are a Buddha meditating, and you're sitting down by a tree, and there is a swamp. And there are all these bugs just flying around, and they're landing on your shoulders, they're landing on your face. But for some reason, you have to keep still and keep smiling on the inside. You don't have to teach another person how to smile on the inside. Like, you don't have to be like, this is the thing. We have Mars in Aquarius. You can't just pull up a person and go, excuse me, you're not doing this right, because that will sting you. But it is more important here to just be basically connected and be together as you are. So, right, anyway, I wanted to just promote a little bit where I am. I'm in Mexico. I'm in Centro Werika, which is in Tepoztlan. It's about 2 hours away from Mexico City. I have a big event coming up at the end of December, so there'll be a few people here for a very, very, very incredible workshop. A very strong, like, healing bomb type of workshop. So between the 18th and the 31st of December, will be booked out. If you'd like to join, there are details down the bottom. I've also got people coming in perhaps during this week and during this month in general, just to hang out with me. If you'd like to hang out with me, you can hang out with me here. You can. But the thing is, I don't have that much time, so I'm writing, I'm channeling, I'm always working, or I'm always doing something. So my self-work is 24/7. I'm constantly working on me, and I'm always constantly providing something for others. So if you're interested in coming over, you can message me via my website, and maybe I'll help you organize something if you'd like. But if you'd like something a bit more structured, I'm also in the process of organizing retreats for a group of maybe 4 or more people, like mini retreats, and they perhaps will be beauty therapy and relaxation, massage and counseling and esoteric study and tuition and temazcal and all these beautiful things. So just a little bit about other things. Yeah, I've just recently published the Almanac for 2019, if you'd like. It's in the comments and caption below. And also, I'm in Centro Werika. I will put the website in the links below as well. It's very, very beautiful. There is an iboga shaman close by. It's very good for plant medicines. If you're into it, it's very beautiful. There is a temazcal, which is a sweat lodge. There is a sensory deprivation tank. There's a swimming pool. There's a steam room. There's a jacuzzi. It's quite fancy. It's also very, very incredibly down to earth, very arty, and the person that's made it is a very skillful artist and a pottery maker. So they're really, really incredible. And yeah, so it's very, very nice. It's in the mountains. The town is incredible. Like, the local people, the local cuisine. I can't even. Like, it's just so great. It's so beautiful. So yeah, I've really discovered a lot of new things for my inner health here, inner being. So yeah, if you'd like to know more about me, or you want to hang out, or you want to book a reading, or if you want to book a retreat, or if you want to just like come over to Tepoztlan and hang out, and also if you want to study with me as well. If you want to study with me, so I can teach you everything I can with astrology, also interdimensional travel, mind over matter techniques, divination techniques, dreamtime techniques, meditation, but more importantly, astral navigation. Astral navigation, because most of my work is dreamtime work, so the astrology that I use is only a tiny part of the whole. So if you want to know about that, you're welcome to see me. If you'd like to be part of a medicine circle, I'm totally welcoming people to do that, though I will need to explain to you a little bit maybe more about plant medicines if you're not yet aware. And yeah, so if you want, have a look. There's a whole card of all of information in the caption section below, and I hope to see you sometime, and enjoy.